Good day and welcome to full 2024 campaign. Let's get straight into it while I intro. Of course, like, sub, comment, do all that. Tell me what you think of this campaign as well. But hope you're having a good one. Let's get right into the first map, which is going to be a speedy, slidey, grassy map. There's a meme in my channel that I love grass full speed. If you can't really understand, that's massive sarcasm. But as an intro to a campaign, I guess not too bad. Did I even get off time with that? I got quite a lot of airtime. You want to look to reduce the airtime, and I mean, if you really want to start to push times, you can look to speed slide, which is making your turns, well, specifically on grass, making them super smooth at that kind of speed. But we did get it, so that will be all I give you for that as we move to our next map. And we're going to drift straight away, it seems. Wow, imagine drifting in a campaign. Who remembers the campaign that there wasn't like even a single drift? That's a throwback. What a campaign that was. I think that was like everyone's least favorite campaign ever. Alright, shortish map. I mean, still 26. Felt a bit shorter than that. So a couple drifts to watch out for. Take it as fast as possible. And again, can't really comment too much more as we get it first time. Alright, next mappy. I was going to say you could take it smooth on the outsides there. But maybe jumping is better. A few sand traps to watch out for. Listening to the gears. Possibly air brake there. Loop, which often doesn't get used. And then use that outside to get a bit of a lower jump. Okay. One thing I was going to say. Thank you for continually showing me that. Last campaign, all the times were probably the hardest ever. And I was going to say, I'm a bit concerned how easy the... no wall ride there. I was going for it. How easy or hard the off time's going to be, and I think they're going to be easy. And already so far, we've one-tapped all of them. And if I one-tap it with this kind of not so great run either, it's going to be kind of funny. Of course, maybe I'm a little bit better than your average, but I think there's not really an issue of having harder off time sometimes. I guess not necessarily on the early tracks for your beginner players, but... Alright, that one's super easy, just take it smooth. You could hold acceleration pretty much the whole time, other than that last turn. Right, people always say how to do ice. I'm not fast on ice, but if you want to at least control on ice, aim for these red lines. And just take it like pretty smooth, try and straighten out before it. And then that will help to get another author time. Okay. It is. So, if you don't know, you get trophies depending on the medals you get. That is your overall rank. But, yeah, I think this is the first ever campaign I've one-tapped the first 5 maps of off times. Let's see if that continues or if it is going to be a little bit harder. Alright, a little bit of a platforming start. And speaking of platforming, Platform has come out with this a new campaign. Maybe want to slightly be over than that. Oh, reactor. I was expecting a normal jump, so we finally won't get an off time. Oh, pretty simple map, but some technical sections in it. And yeah, not the biggest fan of Platform because it just seems like time attack, because you just most people will go for a no respawn time anyway, right? And then they didn't even add the times to it, so a bit disappointing on that game mode. I played it very briefly. Set up your turn early. This one's a bit harsher as well. I think there's a transition, smoothie tootie, and that's a decent run. I don't mind taking 2 turns because then you get like a pretty smoother on the second one. Right. 07. Are we yet again going to get another AO8? That is just a downhill. I don't think AO8 was a downhill on the last campaign, so I think we're probably going to see it again. We haven't seen any different cars yet, which I'm slightly surprised by. I think I saw one, I don't know if it was a tweet or if it was a comment on Discord or something, but I think they're thinking about going back to stadium-only campaigns, which I personally prefer. I mean, honestly, to me, they should just be doing both instead of them together, but I don't think they'll ever do that. But I think that's definitely not yet. But yet another map with only stadium. Kind of cool to see lots of different styles so far, though. Often it's mostly just like mixed tech, I guess. Maybe, and mixed dirt and all that. We have some full speed for the full speeders. Definitely can speed slide there if you want to gain a lot more time. Speed slide the end, and then a low jump to victory. Not a great run there, but yeah, if you just get it smooth and fast, close to the corners, you can get enough for off time. Here we go. Is it going to be a downhill? It does look like it. I was going to say I'm quite bored of the downhill maps, personally. We've had so many of them. Let's air brake that. Alright, at least this is a bit more funky, but... Oh no, there's closer finishes. Do we still get off time? I think we might. No! How dare they change that finish? Just for me to not get off time. Can I do this move? Let's quickly check. Yes, but then we miss a lot of the boost, so... I mean, that's the thing about AO8s. I guess there's like lots of different ways to do the map. But, I don't know, I just find them quite boring now that we've had so many of them. I think I'm in the minority. People seem to love AO8, so... I am just saying my personal opinion. Alright, first struggle map, because I'm struggling to see in this this section here. I recommend going into camera 3, but because of the blue water change, it's still a little bit hard to see. So let's go towards the middle. Jesus. I only got back from holidays a couple days ago, so we're still learning the game again. Clueless. No, I gotta jump to the right again. That's what happened in the other jump. Okay, I'm just completely being scammed. I was gonna say, I don't think I've ever spent this long on an AOA, but there was one where I didn't see a secret line. That was way quicker. Alright, air brake that. Maybe or maybe not air brake this, and then slightly start to turn off to the side. It's not that hard. I was just being special. Nothing new about that though. Alright, bit of a drift maybe. You know, I was never a big fan of tilted blocks because it feels quite often that they're camera 2 heavy and I'm a camera 1 player. But I will say nearly all campaign tilted maps are quite nice for camera 1. And this seems like a pretty fun map. Okay. Pretty alright. And off times are at least not super easy. Of course, many things to improve. Let's go close to this corner. Close to this corner. As low jumps as possible. I think that's probably way too high, but we'll go with it. Aim for the middle. I went for a release. You don't need a release if you can get that well. That was a bit of a chunky transition, and then tight at the end. So aim as close as possible for the corners, but maintaining that speed with those drifts. Oh god, I was not ready for that amount of speed. Okay, we have one of those split maps. Let's see if this side is faster. Not really a fan of these ones, as much as they are good maps though, to be fair. I think they're never really bad maps. Though that turn came up very quickly. Tubo. Bit annoying that I crashed there because I was interested to see if that was a faster run or not. So this one I possibly won't be able to give you tips on what is the quicker place. I think quite often if you can get the stadium car it is quicker, but as you can see, maybe not. I don't know if it was last season, I think it was the season before. I think there was a map that had this, and there was a line that everyone was taking. And then I think halfway through the season, someone did a world record with like the other direction. I'm like, oh, that's sick. That it's changed kind of halfway through the season. Okay, that was enough. Again, can't really tell you if that's going to be the fastest way or not. So that one will just be a, you gotta play it as much as possible and see what gives you more speed. It felt like Stadium was faster and then the left side, which I chose right on that run. Perfect start. But again, only a very short margin of testing, so... And you can use your action keys if you struggle with the smooth turning. I'm still not really a big fan of how needed smooth turning is on the new cars, but as I said, it's kind of part of the game now. You gotta deal with it. Oof. Thought I would have made that. Tight map here. Also not a fan of narrow roads, but can be good in certain situations. A bit of a boring end there. Thought that map was pretty alright. We got some airtime, so avoid that. This one pre-turn, if you can. Avoid the airtime again. There's a chicane coming up. Air brake. Oh, that's a bit too tight, but we'll save it. Trying to avoid that turning on that gear change. And away to the finish. Is that enough? Should be. And it is. Slightly slow run there. You could definitely improve it with knowing the turns a little bit better. So yeah, people I think in this game struggle with like a lot of transitions or turns, and I think a really good way of helping with that is, firstly, practice from the previous checkpoint as much as possible. Even do it like 50 times. Just keep respawning over and over again. Try a few different lines. Try the world record line if you can watch it. And then after that, try and start thinking ahead. So I'm already looking that there was a sign to tell me that there's a right turn here. I mean, I missed that there was a early finish there until very late, so I only hit it very late. But yeah, I think that's a big thing in improving times. If you can remember the turn, or even on top of that, look at what's coming up. Excuse me. And then you'll know to be pre-turning or pre-jumping or taking it smooth. Or so this map, because it's a bit dark, I'm struggling to remember it as much as some other maps. Hence I'm taking it too early, and so this will be a map where I would like to try and practice from checkpoints. But yeah, I think if you can do that and remember to try and look ahead, especially on ice, but literally with anything in this game, I think you will definitely start to improve. Of course, easier said than done. Ugh, and I'm still getting baited by some of these corners. I love how I'm talking about that on a map that I'm struggling with. 555. One of the best numbers. My old Trackmania login had 555 in it. Therefore, always a goated number. Alright, on to the next map. Again, if you're struggling with that map, kind of just pre-look at practicing corners and... But I don't know if it is just because it's nighttime, but yeah, I don't know. I just think it makes it a bit harder to see, and definitely makes you have to practice a bit more. Alright, this one was going really well until that turn. Took that way too inside. An advanced trick is if you're... I don't know if it does work in... I think it must work in Gear 3 if I tried it there. But definitely in Gear 4. You can go for some quick zigzagging. And it will gain you some speed, but that's very advanced tactic. Definitely not needed for an off time. Drift, double tap if you need. Will be slower, but continues to run. Brake a bit early. I was about to gear up, so I quickly released, but these are pretty advanced tricks. And if you can, take this smooth, and then obviously avoid all the penalty grass I just took. Alright, a harder off time here. It wasn't a good run at all, but it wasn't too bad. So let's definitely improve it this time. Set this one way earlier. Don't really know this turn that well, unfortunately. I think you're gonna go a lot lower and then follow it through. So if you can no slide that end, it will save a couple milliseconds. But obviously try not to run into a tree or anything by doing that. Right, back to another multi in Environmento. which will take me a bit to get used to. Fortunately, desert is the one that's not too shabby. I'm really not the biggest fan of rally and snow. Snow just seems to be go as tight as possible, and then rally seems to be really crucial on your action keying and smooth sliding. Whereas desert you can, I don't know, it feels like you have a bit more control. But yeah, obviously still very tough to learn. Take it smooth. See, I'm going for the tap strat this time, which I think is actually quicker if you really want to get into world record times. This one I'll take smooth though. This one a bit smoother because otherwise you will overturn now that we have more speed. And then this end you want to do some zigzagging. I have still yet to get good at that though. But if you can zigzag a bit over sand, it is faster on desert car. Right, okay, to ice. I wasn't expecting that from that start. Let's release to get the angle back. Presume this is a jump. Ooh. Okay, slight RPG style here. Not really, but I'm liking a lot of transitions. Keeps the map fresh. Okay. It's very similar to a previous map. Where that one only had like 90-degree and up and down hills though, whereas this has a lot of quick transitions. And a lot less elevation change. Or release again to correct my angle if you need. Definitely seems like you should be able to do that in one go though. Remembering that turns there, but then I had too much speed this time. Let's set up wider actually. Definitely seems you get a better angle, but then didn't quite hit the speed I need. Alright, let's go a little bit down earlier. Way too much penalty. Kept the gear this time though. We'll save a lot of time. So this map, you definitely want to try and keep that third gear. Wow, okay. I didn't have a quick start, but I had a decent in there. So I think the worry of easy off times maybe isn't a thing after those first few maps, which are always a little bit easier. And then ideally you take this one smooth. Oh, disgusting gear there. Have kept the gear though. Lost it all. We are in an improvement, so let's continue. You can kind of tell all these different lines that I'm taking. You can see what loses me speed, what gains me speed. And surprisingly still not. Okay. There's always one random off time that's slightly more than the others. I will say you definitely want the push speed on this ice turn, so I would respawn if you don't get that. Okay, use the sand this time to get less airtime, which worked really well. Remembered the angle for that to set up way more nicer. Tried to smooth steer that corner, but so you can see like I'm doing so many different lines, and you can see what improves, what makes it slower. And very weirdly, we still don't have it. I mean, I can improve this by a lot, but this should be off time by now. Definitely upper gear here. Definitely a wide drift. Super smooth. Because I'm on a good runner, I just will go for a drift. And a low line to end off. Alright, that's a harder off time. A really good time there by the end. So I think I must have been pretty close. I quite often say that though when I'm not. But I don't know. Onwards. I mean, I'm still waiting for the day I put author times in the description and then I look at my time and I lost it by like the smallest margin, like 1,000th of a second. But I'll never know because I like to just do it without seeing the times. That's just a me thing though. I think most streamers play with the metal counter on. Which does help you because then you'll be like, oh, I need to push a bit more for the end or I can slightly safe it, but I like to just go in with absolutely no knowledge and I find it a bit more fun. Alright, an odd map here which is full grass, which I'm not really a fan of, but that's just me. That's like airtime straight away. Do I get airtime if I PF? No, but then you're not really set up well. This one, you just want to try and get as less airtime as possible. For the gear change there, I went for a very small release just because I knew I was about to go upper gear. If I did go upper gear and then I would have started turning, it would have lost me a ton of speed. Same here, see how the gear kind of stalls a bit? That was a really good example actually. Alright, and then to the end. Not sure about this map. For the low air times. And break that one. So, speaking of the advanced tricks earlier, this is a map where you can utilize the speed slides if you can find a distance where you can straighten out. Go for the jump over again. Hold the gear. And just shit's in the way. Yeah, not a fan of that part. Oof. Yeah, not probably the first map I'm not a fan of. That's just me though. I don't think it's too bad of a map. But ain't for me. I mean, I like this part. 1, 2, and then 3 kind of thing. That's about all. Alright, I've got the gear this time. Can I hold it? Not really. But if you go up and then change it a bit later while you're full turning, it's not too bad. This gear though I am very concerned about. So I went for a release again. Let's go low to safe it. Just trading out to get the gear earlier. And then bang, boop, and you have a off time. Okay. Yeah, not sure how much I need to push for the off time on that map. Ah, dearie me. I see snow. So as I was talking about earlier with snow, it just feels like all it is going as close as possible to the turns. Ideally you take these smooth. I'm only tapping because I'm not very good. You can see it is working. At least for the start of the map. Again, utilizing, looking already what's coming ahead, and then I nearly one-tap the map. But yeah, this map just feels so out of place. It doesn't seem like a bad map at all, other than I don't like it because it's wood and snow. I just find it quite boring. But it seems like a really good map. But is it just me that, like, it just feels out of place compared to, like, the previous maps, you know? This is why I think they need to do the 2 campaigns. One with Stadium and then one with multi-environment. It just... I don't know. I'm just saying my thoughts. People will say I'm negative, but I'm just having a conversation. Let's go get that off time though. Can probably even opt to have a slightly slower start, but not a start with a bonk. You see how much I gain when I go super tight. So all of this you would want to be going as tight as possible. Let's go for a very quick brake tap. I don't know if that is what you want, but it's how I'm going to make it around the corners first try. You definitely don't want to be sliding out. That will cost you a lot of speed. Like that. Oh, you are kidding me. Man, we can utilize that to practice this turn a bit. Yeah, so that's what you want, except that's slightly more angle. And you'll have so much more speed. See how much more speed I have? So that's how to get good at this map. I'm personally not that interested in hunting this at all. But yeah, just going as tight as possible and as smooth as possible will be the winner records. If you're going just for off time, then I will also opt to do the small brake tap again, but we've gone too early. But yeah, I'm just not a fan of this in ranked either. Alright, for the first time ever, I am skipping that. I don't give a shit. What a boring map. That's the first time I've ever done that. Onwards with more wood. If the last map wasn't bad enough. Now get Skid Row. It's a bad place for a checkpoint. I'd like to practice that. That's definitely awful time. Alright, yet another map that is not at all for me. Campaign seems really good, but seems really not for me, which is a first. Okay, I thought that was going to be a hole. I'm glad they filled that up. That's good mapping. Maybe that's off time. Felt fast. It is. Alright. Yeah, not a map for me at all. I'm not a fan of that. Wow, that was a fast time. Interesting. If you need help on that one, yeah, just really, well, other than that one checkpoint, try and practice from the checkpoint respawns. And now we have a NASCAR map, which is also probably going to be a bit boring. This campaign went from like a 9 out of 10 to like a 5 out of 10 for me in just the reds. That's really disappointing. Again, that's just my personal view. But I will also say that's kind of rare. You might get like some maps I'm not a big fan of, but... let's hope that this NASCAR is actually calculated unlike the previous one, which was really wacky turns at some points. Does feel like my game's lagging though for some odd reason. I'm not sure about that turn, mate. Of course it will work, but... it feels like it's one too long. And then the follow-through corner should have been a longer one. Other than that, seems like a pretty good NASCAR map, but again, I just find NASCAR really boring. Really disappointed about the Reds. Yeah, I'm not sure about this first turn. Doesn't feel right at all. Of course, like, it's possible to do S1, but... the other turns feel very natural to do it in one, whereas this feels very forced. G'day, Editor Nick here for a rare interruption of your scheduled video. A bit of context here, I was quite sick of the wood map and this uncalculated NASCAR map, so I took a quick break and tried improving it in 10 minutes. If you don't know, I made 2 beta campaigns which improved some previous Nidea campaigns. You can check it out if you like. But sometimes you just need a short break and then I come back and get those overtimes. Alright, this should be it. So I spent 10 minutes on this. Obviously, can still be improved, but I can spend 10 minutes improving this. Can they not? Yeah, it's still a little bit uncalculated, but you know, you just keep adjusting one by one and then you get it. Just disappointing to me. I don't know. It just... it's just really irritating to me that you can spend so little time and it could have been so much better. Now I have to go back and play this uncalculated version. Go play something else. Alright, 2 maps skipped, which is not just once being a first time, now I've skipped 2. Let's go to something fresh. Which this definitely feels like it, holy shit, with some moving blocks and RPG-esque style. I'm liking it. Mr. Dinosaur in the corner there. Okay, this is a fresh map. Not sure if I'm the biggest fan of always using these wall ride kind of plastic. Kind of takes away a lot of skill, but other than that, like, super fresh map. Okay. That's way more fun than the last 2 maps. Okay, something a bit different. Hit me with maps like this, mate. So yeah, kinda a little bit disappointing with how much this map will utilize just PF wall riding, but other than that, really cool ideas to kind of have a bit of a platforming RPG style. Haven't seen a few platform-yes maps to celebrate the new platform mode in this campaign, to be honest. Which is kind of ironic because it's taking away from platform having that time mode compared to just respawns by itself. So as I was saying in the platform video, it's like most players will just go for a no respawn run anyway. Go for a bit more of an inside line. Don't think it was worth it. Should probably gain more speed through this section because it's quite a long sector. Got that a lot quicker though. Definitely want to drift into it. There we go, that should definitely be enough now. And off time, okay. That's lifted my mood a lot. Probably not that great of a map, but oh no, I have to play this again. Oh, that's immediately lost my mood. Back we go. That's right, we'll do it first time. As I said, I've never ever skipped maps, so I've never been in this situation that meant I'm actually locked onto playing these terrible maps before moving on to the Black Series. Perfect first lap, let's pre-drift like nothing else because this turn's so uncalculated. Back a bit of time with that. Let's not hit this corner this time. And one more to go. Is that enough? Alright. So not sure what you need for an off time. That seems, well, to me that seems horrendously slow. But yeah, you just gotta try and send, like, all I can tell for that one is just practice and practice. I don't know what else, like, you just, yeah, without it being calculated, you just gotta try and hope that you can make it in one. Alright, let's also go back to this map now. See if we can possibly one tap this, but might take a few goes to get used to snow again. This is what I often do in like Rocket League and even in this game sometimes. You just take a break, come back later on, if not the next day, and then look, like sometimes you might get it really fast then. So I think I've just stuffed up the run there, but, you know, like, got pretty close on my first try, so I would definitely also recommend brakes. Really does help. Oh, we were super close. So that's a terrible run, but if you just keep at it, try and get close to your PB, then you can still do it. So I can beat that by like a second with getting that last turn smooth, but yeah. That is what taking a break is for you to do sometimes. Alright, so first time ever, skip some maps, but then a small break, you jump back on them and you get them pretty much first try. And now we continue with the Black Series, which I have already got a spoiler from whoever the world record holder was. This is going to be another tech map. Let's hope it's a banger. I think I already recognize this map. I think this is an old school banger. Someone with more knowledge will definitely know what this map is. This definitely doesn't feel original. But to me, the hilarious thing is, like, I'm not really a fan of, like, remaking or pretty much copying a map that's already been made. I'd rather make new maps, but sometimes like these maps are nearly the best map in the campaign because they're just so clean and just work. So it's a bit of a 50-50. But yeah, this seems like a really fun map if you like drifting. Which I certainly do. Got a different line for that turn. Not sure about this one. It's not a great place for the respawn, unfortunately. People who struggle with this tech kind of drifting, you can even like tap and just try and keep your momentum going, and then eventually just improve on that kind of one drift that you tapped on, and again utilize the checkpoints where you can. It seems like that one I just crashed at again maybe isn't going to be possible to practice on, but hopefully most of the others are. Let's go tighter this time. Definitely presume it's quicker. Didn't need a release actually. Use the ramp to get a lower jump. Alright, let's continue the drift all the way through, and that has worked. Ooh, so you see, obviously I wouldn't like that run on a when I'm properly hunting, but just go with it for now and then improve on it later. No. Few toughies here. Really bad, but just take it safe for now. Double tap. This one we go a lot later. This time to not get airtime in the middle. This one was tight. Shit. Surprised I hit there. 49.40. Which I've never noticed came up with a gold medal there, so not sure if that means it actually was a gold and we have to improve still on that. So I'm gonna absolutely send it as I release twice. That was slow, but oh well. Ooh! Close. Closer. Unlucky. I think if you can cut that ramp on the side, like it actually really helps with your angle for the next full turn of it. I do not get why this is here. It doesn't help at all. That's annoying. If they just extended that all the way through, that would be perfection. It's not a yep pole, it's literally just useless. They've made extended amount of road there for you to utilize, but it's literally useless because you can't get it with the next corner. It's too early. That's pretty slow, but let's utilize it. Start a drift early because I can't use that space. I think this section you don't want to drift on two wheels the entire way. You want to like lock yourself back to like a one line drift. But in the short amount of time that I have on this map, I don't really know how to do that. I'm talking about this turn here. Can't find it this turn. And it does that because you're still like tilting a bit, and then we'll continue sliding out a bit. So ideally you want to lock to just be smooth drifting, but that's easier said than done, of course. But a fast run to get off time, I'm not sure how much you have to push on that, but it seems like it's going to be quite a tough one. To our next map, which hopefully isn't a boring freewheel map again. Perfect turn. Don't tell me otherwise. This camera's a bit oof. Okay, it's just a everything block map. Okay. Not gonna really be a fan of this personally. Just seems quite thrown together, if I'm to be honest. Kind of cool that they, or I think, I only noticed it halfway through the map, that they're got like a special block in the scenery to show what's coming up. That's a nice utilization. So boring. What's with all this? I don't know. Not for me again. Not this map. Seems all over the place in my opinion. Definitely gonna be on that side and then follow through. I think this one you want to go into camera 3 so you can see a bit better. I actually have them binded to 2 buttons, like these, camera 1 and camera 3, for such reasons. Utilize the grass block. This is start early. Drift. Up early. Boring end. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's too... I think it's not too bad of a map, but I don't think it's a good map. I think going just as tight as possible there is fastest, because I think you're locked into cruise control as well. So very surprised that that is not Off time. Definitely going wide and without any airtime is very fast. Safe that a bit because I'm not very good at it. I do not like this sector. Wide and smooth, let's see if it does anything different. I think by the end it seems faster. So maybe I'm wrong going tight. In my opinion. I'm 90% sure that would be unpopular. But I also think everyone always just likes every campaign. I'm just not afraid to say that I don't like it. Finally worked that no drift corner out, no brake corner. Finally on a good run as well. And there is an off-time rewarded. 690, nice. Not too shabby of a time for you guys. I'm not playing from the get-go, so that time isn't too shabby. I think it's like nearly 24 hours, not quite 24 hours, like 20-ish hours. So, but been struggling on some maps. Now it's time to struggle even harder. So we seem to have a full rally map. What's the point of these blocks if you can just bounce over them? It's a nice, like, triple checkpoint here. The fuck? Okay, for the first time in history, this actually may not be an off time. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this. This is like every corner that I'm just not good on rally, and I'm already not good at rally. This is going to be a toughie. Actually, maybe we just go for the action key strat. Hasn't worked. This is a tonal off time before he left. Like, goddamn, I'm fucking doomed. Thing is, I don't know who the fuck's doing the author times now. Like, it was obvious that Toner was doing the multi-environment author times. Now, who the hell is doing the multi? environment off terms. Just a random waypointer? I'm so slow. I don't know if I can get this. I did say at the end of last season, if they do a map which is similar to the last map, but in Rally, I just can't do it. I mean, that was 370th. So maybe off time's easy and I can move on. I'll go one more PB. And then I'll turn on the off time and see if I can do it. I can save half a sec. Maybe I can send this part. So I can improve by 2 seconds, but how long is that going to take me to get that run? What if I tactically use that wall to slow down? That was a fucking banger strat. Okay, good start, good start. Good start. Alright. I've got to send this. That's actually not too bad. Surely we don't fail. Haha. Okay, I saved it a lot, but worth it to send it. Oh! Alright, if it was any faster than that, I don't know if I would have got that. I am interested to see what that is. 56.8, so it is a fast one. Oof. Good luck. I'm glad I got it. Alright, next stadium. Maybe. I think the last map is going to be like a mega multi-enviro map as well, so that's also why I wanted to continue. Alright, we have yellow ice. We all know what yellow snow means. Ah! Why is the map just not full ice? Why change it? It's a lap map. Oh my, okay. That's why. That's a bit different. Interesting. Okay, I like the concept. I like it a lot. Hope I like the map. Okay, it's a bit of a cheeky finish there as well. Bang! World record. Oh, we missed the quad or the... So the plastic here... I don't know. $50.49. Fortunately got stuck in that last slide, but should be enough. And it is. Seems like a pretty good time, hopefully. Not fully. I must have lost a fair bit. Oh, seems like a really good map, but it's super fucking punishing. And speaking of punishing, I saw the narrow rally road straight away. Alright, if this says any multi-environment, I'm fucking doomed. If not, hopefully we finish this soon. I'm hoping it's a bit RPG-esque. I saw like some of these transitions and a few wall rides and stuff. Seems pretty normal so far though. I also think they've done this because people struggled to get off time on the last season, so they were scared of making another one. I think that's why this is fully stadium. Huh. Why was that such an overjump? So is this also a multi-lap? What's with this boring ass PF ending all the time? Stop it. Do something creative. Also, this needs to stop coming up every single time you get a medal. Alright, so bronze trophy. We can do better than that. line here this time. Okay, not faster. Shortcut. Oh. So the only way I'm getting the upper gear is when I like tap and go smooth, and then by tapping I go like pretty wide, and then you're just getting so much airtime. Tactical, you watch. I'm gonna get off time with that. So let's go slightly higher actually, because I keep forgetting that there's a bit of a hill here, and then I immediately go for a low jump. Funny, I didn't really intend to go for a low jump, and then I jumped. I'm like, well, that was completely against what I just said. Why have they ruined this with signs? This map sucks, bro. This campaign is not it. Anyone who likes this is just wanting content. There's so many issues with this campaign. Platform mapping with friends? That'd be cool. Did you see they added fucking stunt multiplayer finally? But they didn't change stunt. But at least they added stunt multiplayer. I mean, we could do a stunt Simply Cup now. That's a good idea. I'm sure people would be excited for that. Except we might struggle for the maps for Simply Cup. Because no one's made any maps of stunt. Okay, attempt 2 at going a bit higher. Okay, that's not too bad. Let's see if that's enough. And it is. Cool. We can go way lower here. That seems very fast. Now, do I remember the end of this map? I remember there's a boring PF end. And there we go. We are out of this campaign. Oh, I thought it wasn't. I'm like, surely that's fast enough. As if that wasn't going to be fast enough. There we go for the campaign of fall 2024. With our beautiful princess castle in the distance. Well, I have some words about this campaign. It's going to be an unpopular opinion, I think, but not a fan of this campaign in the slightest. Let's take the camera off. Let's go through all the maps. I mean, the start maps are pretty just simple. They always are. Kind of, I don't know. They're alright, I guess. AO8 was an AO8, but it was slightly different. It was still very 808-ish though. So like I'm already not going to touch like map 4, map 5 maybe, map 8. And then map 10. I mean map 10 maybe is fun, but I didn't have too much time on it. Can't remember that one. This one was just tough to see, I felt like. 13, 14, 15. 15 was very similar to a previous one. I don't know if I rate that for that reason. But then we got to reds. So what is this red one? Red, oh, so it was just a grass full speed map. I just find grass full speed a bit boring, personally. That's just a personal one. Then we got to 17, which is snow car on wood. Very fast. And as I said, I feel like you either get it like on your, literally on your first time, or it might take you half an hour like it did for me. Didn't actually take that long, but it felt like it. And then 18 is pretty much the same thing. It's wood again, except you're drifting this time. 19, absolute, that's probably the worst map. So uncalculated. I mean, I find NASCAR hella boring, but it could have at least been a good map. 20, oh, I really want to like 20. 20 was a fresh bit of air, but when I started to play it, it's just kind of like a lot of PF wall riding, which is alright, but when you have it like continuously, it gets a bit repetitive. So I really want to like this map, but I'm unsure. 21 seems like a fun tech map, but I don't know. It's good. I'm still not the biggest fan of, like, I feel like it's got to be an old school map, and I'm still not the biggest fan of just taking old maps. 22 time that I got is hilarious. I don't know how the hell I got top 5. I know it was an okay run, but yeah, this map just for me is all over the place. I'm just not really a fan of it. It's not that bad of a map, but it's just all over the place. It's just kind of bang, bang, bang. This part is really bad though, in my opinion. There's a gear change, and this transition I only got like once. I don't know about that. Like, other than that, it's fine, but 23, that's a tough rally map. I think it's a pretty good map, but I just am skill checked, so I can't really comment on that one. 24 seems pretty cool. I would have to check with ice players if it is calculated. There's a good meme that we seem to like have never ever had a good calculated ice map. It felt pretty calculated though, I think. And I like the fresh idea of doing like a bit of a lap, and I'm quite surprised that the reusing of the ice was working well. Super tough to do consistently though if you were to play like ranked or something. Then the last map, the start, atrocious. Why is this guy 2 seconds ahead? I know it's Alcon, but is there already a cut? I was going to say, I haven't seen any cuts this campaign, which I'm pretty surprised by. In that regards, it's pretty well defined, but personally I like a cut or two. Okay, thanks. Let's just stop rendering the replay. Guess we'll watch it in one time. But yeah, tell me your thoughts. I'm quite interested. Bit of an odd campaign to me. Probably one of my least favorite ever, but I think that's just going to be a me opinion. I think overall people won't mind it, but yeah, I'm curious to see like what they actually fully rank it. I mean, this is an absolutely gnarly run from Elcon, but why is no one at all close? That's so strange. But on that note, hope you enjoyed watching. Pretend like this is how skillful I am, and see ya in the next one. Ciao, ciao.